Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, John.
Hey, Harriet, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, good
Oh,
morning. I can hear you.
all right. Okay, I got to make sure my court reporter can hear me. Mr. Brown, I'm glad you can hear me, Mr. Brown, but if the court reporter doesn't hear me, he's wasting our time. So, got to make
Thank
sure
you.
of that one. Hey, Harriet, I had COVID all weekend.
I'm
Mm.
sorry, you and Alenka got it. She just continued her hearing.
Oh, like, man, I hope I didn't give it to her.
She got it from back east.
Real? Well, I mean, I've known Alenka for a long time. My wife and I had dinner over there
Wow.
about a week ago. So
Oh
I don't
my
know.
gosh. Well, she
Yeah.
thinks she thinks she got it from going back east. Maybe you better not
Maybe,
tell her.
maybe she gave it to me. Maybe she gave it
Maybe.
to me. Let's think about that one. That's what I think. That's
I'm
what I
sorry.
think. All right. Okay. Enough with my illness. Mr. Lysenko had to hear all about my illness hour ago. He didn't know any more about it. Okay. Here you can hear me. So let's go on the record. We'll go on the record with proceeding number 24A-0123CP in the matter of the application of Midnight Riders LLC for a certificate of public convenience and necessity to operate as a common carrier by motor vehicle for hire. I'm Administrative Law Judge Robert Garvey. Today is May 28th, 2024 at approximately 10 a.m. This proceeding comes on for a pre-hearing conference. I'm going to start with appearances, and I'm going to start with the applicants. So Mr. Brown, if you could just tell me your name, spell your name for me, and then tell me who you're representing. And then after that, we'll go to um, tours and then for Denver's airport. Okay.
Yeah, I'm Travis Brown, representing Midnight Riders, and it's spelled TREAVISBROWN.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Brown.
Morning.
Yes, Your Honor. My name is Roman Lysenko. I can spell it Roman, Roman, Lysenko, Lysenko, representing Mountain Star, DBA Explorer Tours, and over Red Rock Shuttle.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Mr. Said.
My name is Jamal Said. I represent Denver's airport transportation.
Okay. Hey, Mr. Said, I believe your intervention had Ms. Stockmeyer's name. I talked to Ms. Stockmeyer for a separate matter about, I don't know, about an hour ago. And I said,
How about it? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah. And at that time I said, I'll see you in about an hour. And she said that she had no idea what I was talking about. And so she said, you are going to represent yourself. Is that correct?
Here in this matter, yes.
Okay. And you have less than 3 owners. Is that correct?
Say that again.
How many owners does Denver's transportation have?
I am a sole owner.
Sole owner. Okay. All right. And just want to make sure. And so that's okay. We'll have you can represent Denver's airport in this matter. As I say, this comes on as a pre-hearing conference. Mr. Brown, and I'll go over this with you real quickly. Do me a favor. You're not an attorney. So please, if I say stuff in some legal way, if I start talking in crazy legal language that goes over your head, please stop me and tell me to explain it better for you. Okay.
Okay.
There's no prize at the end for knowing what's going on. So if I use some language or I say some stuff you don't understand, please feel free to do that. Okay. It's not.
Okay, great. Thank you. This is all new to me, so I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
No. Good. No, it should be. And so I want to make sure that you feel comfortable and know what's going on. Mr. Lysenko can tell you. He had a hearing with me. I went over everything with him, and so you can do it. Okay. He's proof it can be done.
All
He
right.
didn't. And by the way, he didn't win with me. He didn't win with me.
Yeah.
But here he is. He read my decision.
Well, I did partially, right? But then it was reversed. And
You did. What it showed, Mr. Lysenko, is that you know how to read.
yeah, right.
Because I gave you, I laid breadcrumbs down for Mr. Lysenko in my decision, denying him, and then he found the breadcrumbs and was successful later on. But you can do it, okay? But I want to make sure you know that, and I want to make sure at no time don't ever feel. If I ask you a question, I say, "Do you understand what this means?" and you tell me yes, I will warn you that I'll have you explain it.
Okay.
Okay. So
good.
realize that, because I'm not going to believe you.
Alrighty.
So first off, I want to make sure, you can see I've seen Mr. Lysenko. He's been part of this for a while. Mr. Syed, another business owner in here. If they talk to you about, you don't, because we're at this stage, doesn't mean you have to go to a hearing. Okay, realize that most of these proceedings don't go to a hearing.
Okay.
There can be a settlement arranged out. I mean, you don't have to do whatever they say, but don't necessarily think that they're trying to screw you over. Especially, you're not dealing with attorneys here, but sometimes I always worry that people who are representing themselves are scared of attorneys, because attorneys, there's some belief that attorneys know things, which is not true. But you can talk to them, and if you can reach an arrangement that works for you, you can and file a settlement, and you don't have to go through the whole thing.
Okay.
So realize that, and you can do that at any time before we get to a hearing. If we get to a hearing, you're going to have to represent yourself, and when you do that, you're going to have to present evidence to support your case. Okay.
Okay.
I can't tell you how to do that. I can't tell you what you got to do. I can't do your case for you. All right. One of the things I can do for you is, like I say, I'm not going to hold you to fancy legal language. So, for instance, if we get to a hearing and Mr. Lysenko shows you baby pictures of himself, and he goes, "Your Honor, I'd like to introduce these baby pictures of myself to show you what a great baby I was many, many years ago," maybe probably fewer years than me. And do you say, "Your Honor, I don't see any reason why these pictures have any bearing on anything that's going on here today. I object to this." I would say, "Well, okay, well, Mr. Brown, I'll tell you what. I'm going to find that to be a relevance objection. You don't have to know that fancy word relevance. But I'm going to find that Mr. Lysenko's baby pictures are not relevant in the proceeding." So that's how it works. I'm not going to hold you to fancy words. I'll try and understand what you're saying. But unless I get really mad at people and they start doing crazy stuff, I'm not going to do the objections for you. Okay. Mr. Lysenko can tell you about the hearing. One of my favorite hearings I ever had was one with Mr. Lysenko. He got to see me get really mad at an attorney. I tell that story often, Mr. Lysenko, by the way, if you don't recall. But I can't do the hearing for you. But I'll help you that way. Okay. So what you're going to have to do, you filed stuff before. You have to get all of the evidence you need together, and you're going to pre-file it like you did with your application. Okay.
Okay.
And what that does, it gives the intervening parties a chance to look and see what you're going to say, and they have to file their stuff too. And the reason why we do that, just for information, just so there's no surprises, there's nothing that's crazy that comes out of the blue. They can prepare their case. They have rights here that if you get granted an application like Mr. Lysenko, Mr. Syed, you'll be able to intervene on other people that try and the file applications that go over the territory that you'd be in.
Okay.
So you do the same thing. So what I'm going to do is say in about, I have to pull up my calendar real quickly. So in about 2 weeks or so, or 3 weeks, let me see, we're going to get close to July 4th, and so I don't want to get on that. If we could say by maybe the June 28th, if you could file all of your exhibits. And again, what happens by filing those exhibits, that doesn't mean they're in the proceeding. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna put instructions in. We'll probably do this remotely like this. Do you have an objection to doing it? Does anyone have a objection to having the hearing remotely?
No, Your Honor.
No.
Mr. Syed?
No.
Okay. I kind of prefer to do it that way. It's easier for you to get witnesses in and out. You don't have to have people go downtown. You don't have to try and find parking. You don't have to do anything like that. So we'll do it remotely. But like I said, going back to the exhibits, you'll pre-file them like you do with your application by the 28th of June. Okay. And it doesn't mean they're in the proceeding. So when we have the proceeding, you'll get instructions on how you're going to present the exhibits during the hearing. They'll be electronically and presented up. And at that point, when you present them, you can agree to them. You can say, "Yeah, I don't have an objection to that." If it comes up and before the hearing, I'll ask if there's any objection to any of the hearings, and we can save time if you want to do that. If there's something you object to that you've seen that's potentially going to be filed, you have the opportunity to present an objection then. And like I say, I'm not going to hold you to the legal definitions. The other example I always give is if Mr. Lysenko has some sort of, I don't know, showing something about his case that hurts you, your objection can't be, Your Honor, that really hurts my case. I objected that one because I really don't like it. That one doesn't fly. Okay, it's got to be a legal reason, like I said, like relevance or something in that frame. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Anything? Okay. So about 2 weeks after that, let me see, the 28th comes out, and then we'll get to about the 19th of July. Mr. Lysenko, Mr. Syed, can you file any of your exhibits by July 19th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Syed?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this goes for mainly for you, Mr. Brown, but then they will file just like you will in the commission's filing system, their exhibits. Again, their exhibits are not in the proceeding until we have a hearing. Okay. They'll have to present them again. I'll stress, I'll give you instructions that it's going to come out with a decision after this pre-hearing conference. It tells you what you need to do as far as numbering them and ordering them. The other thing, the wonderful Ms. Federico is with us here today. She will be our legal assistant for any hearing. Her information will be on there. If you want to have a test run on how it goes, just to make sure that you feel comfortable doing it, we can set that up, and I'll be part of that as well too, just to make sure that you feel comfortable doing that.
Okay.
But again, the instructions will be there to do that.
Okay, great.
So then after that, then we're going to have a hearing. I'm not going to hold you to this right now, Mr. Brown. How many witnesses do you think you'd have at your hearing?
I mean, 0.
Well, 0 is probably not a good number. Because I was
Like I said, I don't even know what to
This
expect
one.
with this whole process.
Yeah, no. Here's what I tell you. Like I say, I can't tell you how to do your case. I can't give you legal advice, but I can tell you one thing. If you have 0 witnesses, remember I told you how your exhibits can't get in. Your
Okay.
exhibits can't get in unless you have a witness to get your exhibits in.
All right. So myself.
So basically, yeah. Without a witness, basically we could do your hearing right now, because there would be no evidence. Okay.
Okay.
But okay. So you're not expecting numerous witnesses. Look at what you need to do. That's all I'll tell you.
right.
Mr. Lysenko, how many witnesses do you think you would have?
Just one, Your Honor.
One. Mr. Syed, how about you?
I'll be expecting 2.
2. Okay. Based on that, I don't think we're going to go longer than a day. So I'm just going to schedule this. That's the main reason I'm asking Mr. Brown. And again, I'm not holding you to that. You can although I was going to say you can have 100 witnesses if you want, but actually you can't. If you have 100 witnesses, trust me, I'll cut some of them out. But you're not stuck to one or whatever. I just trying to get a feel for how long we need to have a hearing for. Based upon that, how about August 15th for a hearing? Does that work for everyone? Yeah, 15th. That work?
Yeah.
Yes, Your
It'll
Honor.
work.
Okay. And one day again, it would be a remote hearing. It'd be just like this. We do it the same way. You call your witnesses this way, and present the evidence that way. All right. Does all kind of make sense, Mr. Brown?
I mean, so far so good.
Okay. All right. Like I say, just want to make sure it all makes sense. Like I say, I'm going to issue out a decision. It's going to have what we went over today. It's going to have instructions on how to prepare for the hearing, how to file your exhibits. You're going to want to number them, stuff like that. So there's going to be numbering on there, just so we know right away. That's all, and it makes life easier for my court reporter. And trust me, there's nothing that you want to do to make me happy more than make my court reporter happy. Okay, because if she's happy, I'm happy.
Okay.
So we're going to all work towards that end. But there's nothing else, Mr. Brown. This is your last chance for any questions.
I guess I don't really know what the process of this like entails. I'm just pretty much replying to emails that I get.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's a hearing. Let me explain to you. It's a hearing. Okay. And so there's certain things that you have to prove in order to be granted an application.
Okay.
Application to be granted. And I can tell you, look through the commission's website for different
Okay.
information about what can be there. Again, I can't do your case for you and I can't be your attorney.
Right, right.
But there's certain things you got to do and you got to prove, and you'll call witnesses in order to prove those things. The burden
Okay.
of proof is by a preponderance of the evidence. Okay. So it's not a criminal matter. So it's not beyond a reasonable doubt. So it has to tip more in your favor than the applicants. The applicants, Mr. Lysenko and Mr. Syed, they're gonna try and prove that it's not it, that you don't meet the burden that needs to be shown. Okay.
Okay.
And so you call your witnesses, you can question your witnesses, they can provide evidence. Mr. Lysenko and Mr. Syed will have the opportunity to cross-examine those witnesses. Okay. And then when they're done doing that, then I'm going to ask some questions if I have any questions.
Okay.
Because the ultimate decision maker is me. And then after that, we'll have what we call redirect, and you'll be able to ask any questions to basically clean up anything that might have got confused between their cross-examination and then any of my questions. And so you present all of your case. When you're done presenting your case, then the interveners both will have their opportunity to present their case. They'll
Okay.
call their witnesses, they'll ask their witnesses questions, and then you'll have the opportunity to cross-examine. If you call yourself as a witness, what that mainly will be a narrative. And so I'll just say, hey, Mr. Brown, tell me what you want me to know. Okay, you don't have to jump back and forth and go, okay, Mr. Brown, tell me what you think about this, and then answer that. You don't have to do that.
Okay.
You just go on you don't have to have some split personality doing that. You just answer. You just tell me what you want to tell me.
Okay.
And we go that way. Again, during that questioning, there's the opportunity to object to anything that's asked. We follow the rules of evidence to a point. We're not 100% on, like, say, hearsay rule. We can rule the way we want to. What it has to be reliable. So the way I generally hold my hearings is I kind of hold by the Colorado rules of evidence unless there's a good reason not to. I will tell you, sometimes I'll get one of the ways that I don't, and we don't in these hearings, is through some hearsay thing. So you know what hearsay is? If I say what hearsay is, you know what I mean?
What someone said.
Well, I mean, kind of. I mean, what it is, if a hearsay, a document can be hearsay. Okay.
Okay.
So if you got a letter from someone saying something, whatever that happens to say, and you say, I want to present this letter, the document saying something, if you want the truth of the matter asserted from the letter to be included as evidence, that would be hearsay. All right. In general, criminal cases, for instance, that might not be allowed. In our cases, I can allow that if I find that there's a reasonable amount of certainty. In Mr. Lysenko's case, actually, what got me quite mad is Mr. Lysenko provided a bunch of newspaper articles, okay, about different things that happened, okay, and he provided one, and the attorney that was on the other side objected to it. And I told the attorney that we can accept some hearsay, and I'm going to accept that, and I'm going to take it for what it's worth. I can give it the weight that I deem proper, okay. And the fifth time that he objected to an newspaper article, I got kind of angry. And so that's what I'm saying. We hold by the rules, but not, we can adjust them a little bit. So don't be overly worried about the rules of evidence and stuff like that. So that kind of makes sense on what you got to do. When both sides do their case, then I take everything in and I reach a decision. It'll be a written decision. It won't be from the bench. It'll hopefully come out in 30 days of the hearing being done.
Okay.
Then you'll have the opportunity after that, if you like the decision, you celebrate, you pop some champagne, you have a good time, start a new business. If you don't like the decision, you lose the decision, you'll have the opportunity to appeal the decision, or what we call exceptions. And it'll be 20 days after the decision comes out for you to file exceptions on that. And
Okay.
go to the three commissioners and appeal my decision. So
Sounds good.
making more sense?
All right.
All right. Mr. Lysenko, did I forget anything?
No, Your Honor, you got great memory. Honestly, 3 years ago, you still can recall all the details about my hearing. So, but yeah, no, I guess we're all good.
Yeah, just refresh, Mr. Brown. I used to be a judge here for about 10 years, and I left a few years ago, and I've just come back.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm trying to remember everything I got to tell you before we get going. No, Mr. Lysenko, your hearing was one of my favorites I ever had. I'll never forget your hearing. Like I say, I don't generally get, you can tell, I don't generally get mad. I got
Like
mad.
3 of them weren't there.
What, Mr. Senko's hearings?
Yeah, we had a couple of them, I thought.
Well, he only had 2. He only had 2 that I mean, he had mine and then Judge Mubaba.
Yeah.
Because I trust me, Mr. Senko, I talked to Judge Mubaba about your case.
Yeah,
He followed my
but Your
breadcrumbs.
Honor, honestly, I'm a little bit jealous. Like all the judges getting to see all these shuttle wars. It's a new Netflix show, Shuttle Wars, or whatever. So you can see all this drama about the shuttles, all the hearings and stuff like that. It's always some kind of drama in
Well,
these pre-hearings.
the funny thing was when I first started, we had a bunch of hearings. We had a bunch of these hearings, and then really when you came around, they kind of, right around, they kind of slowed down quite a bit. I was surprised coming
Why
back.
are there even hearings? Are there just limited spots, or
It's the law. It's the law. Honestly, it's the law.
It's regulated monopoly.
Yeah. It's what it's based upon is because Colorado, I mean, when these laws were written, Colorado wasn't nearly as populated as it is now. And so the thought was, I mean, it happens with taxi cab companies and stuff like that, that if you had 15 whatever shuttle companies, 15 whatever, then none of them would get enough business and they all go broke. And
Gotcha.
so that's the concept of it. The population couldn't sustain unlimited amounts. Whether the populations change and that law should be changed is certainly up for grabs and a lot of.
That's what I was thinking. Like, why would you limit the amount of companies that could operate? Like, I really don't even understand the hearing, like the point of this, to be honest. But that's what I'm here for.
Mr. Brown, I would love to get into conversation with you about my views upon that law, but I just have to follow it, and that's what we got to do.
Okay.
So there was some talk a couple years ago. There's some talk a couple years about, at least nationally. There's actually a lot of, it's not just Colorado, it's other states also have the same thing. And I think there was a federal case that came out of like Seattle, actually about boat travel, that was going to go after the regulated monopoly system.
Okay, like this is all new to me. That's why I just.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't want to keep everyone. Thank everybody for being here today for Memorial Day. But Mr. Brown, last chance for any questions. And again, there'll be a decision that comes out that hopefully, if you have any questions comes up, then can answer.
Okay, so are we being sent a set of instructions of what to do next, or?
Yeah. It'll probably take about a week and a half to get out. I got a few other things that are going out. And
okay.
a bunch of things out. So don't worry that if you don't get it in the next day or two. If you don't get it until sometime next week, I mean, that's fine. If you don't get it after next week, call somebody.
Okay.
Mr. Lisenko, anything further from you?
No, Mr. Brown, just want to make a quick comment. Please contact us, let us know. We can discuss where you stepping on our toes, and maybe if you can just restrict your or amend your application, we can just withdraw and we will be out of your way. So just please contact us so we can just discuss that further.
To discuss what?
Discuss how you overlap in our authority. So there is always a chance that you can restrict some of the locations that we aim to serve, and then we will withdraw our intervention. So you don't have to go through the at least you're gonna lose us in these proceedings, and you'll have less companies intervening in your application.
Yeah, I was curious about that too. If I was just
that's
I mean, not specifically just my business is specifically mainly just Red Rocks and concerts, so I didn't want to like bother with airports. I wasn't sure if I needed to specify more. Like,
yeah, Mr. Brown, and that's exactly what I was talking about at the outset. Was if you talk to Mr. Lisenko, Mr. Syed, and you can reach an agreement that you amend the application and say, I don't know, I'm not going to go to Judge Garvey's house. And so we're the only ones who get to go to Judge Garvey's. You make an amendment like that restricts it.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, right here. This is Jamal. I tried to reach out to Travis, but I don't see your contact information. But of course, my contact information out there, and if you can reach out, and if we can be able to reach an agreement, if you can, of course, if you can be able to limit your application, and then maybe we can be able to reach an agreement. You don't have to go through this.
Okay, yeah, I'll try to find your information and I'll buy you lunch. We'll have a chat.
Oh, no, yeah, I mean, no problem. So just reach out to me.
Okay,
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
All right, I'll let you guys figure that out. Look for a decision, I say sometime hopefully next week. And everyone have a good day other than that. Thank you very much.
Likewise,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Okay.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
What's the best way to get a hold of you, Roman?
Oh, yes, you can just call. Do you have a pen and paper? I'll give
I
you
do.
a phone number. So it's 720
Okay,
234
okay,
2643.
okay. Yeah, I'll give you a call in the next few days, and yeah, like I said, this is all new to me, so
Got it.
yeah, I'd love to have a chat with you.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Just let me know.
Okay,
Just call me whenever. Thank you so much. Good luck.
sounds good. Have a good day.